Hello and welcome back to what I believe is episode 4 of 100% Orange Juice. In this episode, we're going to do QP Scenario Episode 3. Now, let's just jump right into it. We've been chasing Popo all day. It's gotten dark and we're still after her. Getting tired? We can't give up though. Precisely! We can't give up on the pudding. Hey. What now? You shouldn't be hanging around at this hour. Look what she's wearing. Santa! Yes, good children will get gifts from me. I thought Santa Claus was an urban legend. By the way, Santa. Yes, what do you want to get? No, that's not it. Popo. It's Popo! Ah, Popo got presents. She took the whole bag. Oh no, what should I do? Don't worry, Santa. Doge? I'll get all the presents back for you. Wow, she looks full of confidence. Thanks, Doge. But in return, promise me to give me 30% more presents. She blurted out her true motive. Something amazing is still going on, eh? Yuki, you're here to disturb us again? I have some free time. Play with me. Geez, somebody, anyone, please bring back my presents. Well, QP, 30% of 0 is still 0, so I'm hoping you're at least getting one present from Santa. You can see, we're back in our deck builder, and we pulled some new cards in the previous episode. Since the deck is shared globally, even if I were to pick the new cards, there won't be a guarantee that I would draw from them. So I will do that, but I don't expect to actually see some of these. I'm just I'm not very versed in the meta of deck building in this game, so I just like to pick cards that work for me, and most of these cards are like combat orientated or have some nice effects that work passively. And honestly, my favorite trap is the Assault Trap, since it allows us to interrupt anyone who lands on that particular spot through a bout of combat, and that usually can be enough to turn the tides of a game, especially if you're striking first. Now, we have a new stage here. It's called Christmas Miracle, and the field event is Miracle. I'm not sure what it actually does since I've never played the stage before, but we will see. I think I will just place this trap card at my home, and then we'll just move along. I'm going to fight Aru, who is supposedly Santa, and we're gonna find out what her combat stats are. So, we see that Aru has the same amount of health that we do, 5 HP, but she also has +1 evade in exchange for -1 attack and -1 defense. So, this is probably a more defensive-oriented character, as I've noted that those who have higher evades tend to not like engaging in combat as much. So unfortunately, she dodged our attack and managed to hit us with her own, but it was only 1 damage, so it isn't very, doesn't harm us that much, I should say. Now we're just gonna play as we normally do and try to beat this chapter. The other 2 players on our board are Maria Popo, which I assume will always be a player on the board because she's story-based. And the other player is Yuki, who I've recently found out is actually a girl. Well, the ambiguity stems from the fact that Yuki is usually a last name in for Japanese people. And And since last names are more or less gender neutral, it's hard to tell whether or not they are a boy or a girl. And her portrait doesn't actually show us that well what gender she is anyway. Although, like, I should have noticed that she was indeed wearing a skirt. So, yeah, that's just my little aside about Yuki, the cat girl. Will probably be called Neko Musume in Japanese. And this game has a lot of Japanese cultural references, as I've noticed, since the developer and studio are Japanese. And we're just gonna go for 30 more stars. I've been talking so much I didn't even notice that we landed on our home lollipop. Well, I'll talk about it the next time it happens, but I finally figured out what the miracle field effect does, and we saw it on Maripopo's last turn, that she drew 2 cards instead of the usual 1 for landing on the green draw panel. So I would hazard to guess that the miracle field effect simply doubles the effects of all the tiles you can land on. Now, last turn Maripopo used her hyper card and stole our stars, essentially. So we're gonna fight her, because, well, I'm out for blood. Although, I'm not expecting to do much damage after she used the Usabit card. And now, we're having some really atrocious luck in terms of our dice rolls. I have pretty bad luck in general, but it's been worse than normal, to say the least. We're gonna fight this chicken. Hopefully deal enough damage. Are you seeing this? All these ones, and even from the enemy. We got lucky to roll higher than a 1 for evade, because the last time I did that, I tied a 1 attack with a 1 evade and took 1 damage. And the rolling of 1s continue, but I did manage to roll a 5 on the bonus panel. Yuki placed down a trap, and also rolled a 1. Maripopo used the event card that moves all traps on the field around, so we don't know where they are placed, what trap cards are in each trap zone now. And and we are unfortunate enough to land on the drop panel during the miracle field effect, which means that we lost twice as much stars as we normally would. Now, I'm not sure if miracle effect also applies for combat. It doesn't seem like the case. So, and Yuki has a +2 attack and roll a 6, so we're pretty much dead. But that's not the end of the world, since we didn't have much stars to begin with due to Maripopo stealing them from us. So, we're just gonna try to revive and get more stars, and hopefully be able to reach our next Norma soon enough. I'm really interested in seeing what Aru's hyper card is, because this is actually a new character who I've never seen before, even through my hours of playing with friends and on the multiplayer side of the game. And Aru is actually level 4, so we really need to do something to stop her, but our current situation isn't that good, and the boss has even appeared. So we're gonna want to avoid those boss tiles. maybe try to engage in combat with Aru to delay her from gaining another level. You see, Maripopo put a trap card on her own lollipop, and now that it's I believe every 5th turn the effect occurs. So now that's turn 15, we're gonna have ×2 for the field effect, and we got lucky to land on the yellow bonus panel for this turn. Now, unfortunately for Aru, she landed on the boss panel, so she's gonna take a hefty sum of damage. To be honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna win this one, simply because Aru is rarely ahead, and apparently her hypercard gives her a lot of stars. Since I put the game speed on fast, I didn't really have a chance to read it. But if you're interested, you can easily pause the video, go back and pause the video and read it for yourself. I'm gonna use gift exchange since my current cards are not that good, and I hopefully will be able to exchange for some better ones with my opponent. And we get Go Away and Usabit, which in our case are actually better than the ones we currently had. And as expected, the CPU also used the gift exchange that I gift exchanged them. So now we're Maripopo steals more stars from Aru. That's okay. I'm gonna save this 3rd gift exchange until I can get more cards, and like so. Now, we're only level 3, but so is everyone else except for Aru, who is level 4. So, our goal is going to be to try to either defeat Naru in combat, who only has 2 health left, or to try to get try to stockpile more stars so that we can reach level 4 as well. Now, it's gonna cost me 10 more to use a 2nd gift exchange, but at this point I think it's worth it. I really need something. Okay, we get Usabit, and we get the Usabit card and the rainbow colored circle card, both very combat orientated cards, albeit defensive based. And not too much damage dealt to both Yuki and Maripopo. On our turn, we're gonna go on to this bonus panel, which has the miracle effect. So we're gonna get a lot of stars. Now, all we have to do is get to a home lollipop, so we can check our Norma and level up to level 4. And then once that happens, we can start worrying about both Aru and Maripopo, who are level 4. But now Maripopo is level 5 since she landed on the lollipop. So Maripopo is actually going to be our biggest adversary for the rest of the game until Aru becomes level 5 as well, or Yuki becomes level 5. But I don't expect Yuki to become level 5 anytime soon unless she wins a lot of combat between the other players. Now, Aru used the card that shuffles everyone's position on the board, and Yuki used the card that increases the bonus amount of stars you gain at the end of each turn. Or should I say the beginning of each turn. Yeah, you can see the bonus is now 6, whereas normally it would only be 5 at this point in the game. I'm gonna go to this warp panel, because I have no reason to go to the lollipop. And through the gift exchange, Aru obtained Yuki's hyper card and used the hyper card which KOs a random unit. I, of course, was that unit to take the blow. And although, the passive star gain at the beginning of the turn, after the next turn, should allow me to get to the 120 star threshold, which means that the only obstacle now is to land on one of the other lollipops. I don't expect to pass by our own lollipop because we're really far from it. Yuki has 90 stars, but she didn't meet the Norma requirement, which means that she's going for the combat one instead. Rather foolish mistake if I were to say so myself, but Yuki is a rather combat-oriented character, so... And the reason I say it's foolish is because even though you're a combat-oriented character, you can easily go and fight the non-combat-oriented characters, get their star bounty, and as a result, you would be easily meet the star requirement while putting the opponent below their star requirement. Unfortunately, we pretty much got swept this game. Although, since it's not that too far into this video, I think we're gonna go for a second attempt. We'll skip this story. You can do so by holding the control key. And we're gonna quickly build another deck. I could also play as another character, but since this is QP's story, I think we're gonna go QP all the way. Alright, round 2, and since we're already about 18 minutes into this video, I think we're just, we're gonna speed through, the other players moving through the board. And again, you can do this by holding the control key down. This, of course, does not work on multiplayer for obvious reasons. Yuki fights a chicken, but the chicken still lives. We'll go here, but we didn't reach our normal requirement yet. Now Yuki fights Maripopo, does damage to Maripopo, and dodges the damage from Maripopo. We're gonna go in this bonus panel, get some stars, and I would think that after 1 or 2 more turns, we'll be able to reach our normal requirement. And we land on the bonus panel while the miracle effect is off. Yuki and Maripopo both managed to reach level 2 before we did, but we're not that far behind. And Aru has done so as well. Maripopo used the We Are Waruda trap card, which moves all trap cards onto randomly chosen panels. We don't really want to use any of the cards we have currently. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna fight Aru. Deal 2 damage, and then we can evade this. Yep. And now we reach level 2, and we choose the 30-star Norma as usual. Move. We're gonna fight. We're gonna defend this 4, take 1 damage, and deal 1 damage to the Sentinel. I got another Wiawaruda card. I don't really value these cards, the Wiawaruda card, that highly, unless we're on, say, I think Pudding Chase is the field name, because Pudding Chase has the field effect of Minefield, so Wiawaruda card will easily make some chaos happen. And since we landed on the green panel during the Miracle, we drew 2 cards instead, which put us at 5 cards at the end of the turn, so we had to discard 2 cards. Now, we can't use Gift Exchange yet, but I would like to, so I think we're just gonna go on this 4 panel. And the reason I want to use Gift Exchange is the cards currently in my hand are not that good in my opinion, at least not in this case, so hopefully we can snag some better cards from our opponents. We're gonna fight Arugan, and we rolled really luckily, or we rolled our luck in rolling was really lucky, is what I should be saying. But I can't English. The duck did more damage to Maripopo than Maripopo did to the duck. We'll get rid of Cloud of Seagulls. I like cards that are reliable to use, as opposed to the dealing random damage to a random player, because those cards can really come back to bite you if you were heavily relying on them for your strategy. Now, gonna land on the bonus panel during the Miracle, so this puts us at 84 stars, which is more than enough to check for a Norma and level up. The only problem is landing on a Lollipop Square, but fortunately we rolled our 6 on this turn and did just that. We'll go here, and then we'll stop at home, and that allows us to get 2 consecutive levels, which puts us in a very good position compared to last game, since we're 1 level higher than Aru, who is our main adversary, in terms of getting rid of here and there. Aru used Gift Exchange for me, so I'm not gonna have to worry about that. Now, I have this gamble card, but I absolutely have no reason to use it, because I could simply knock myself out. And I really don't want to give my opponents any leeway time to catch up to me. We're gonna go on this bonus panel on the Miracle again. Now we're up to 142 stars. Aru's gonna fight Maripopo, and Maripopo gets knocked out. Yuki used the card that grants an extra bonus star at the beginning of each turn. I'm gonna keep this Gambo just in case. And I really want to keep Flip out, because it can help disrupt my opponents if I were unlucky enough to say... Oh, but we don't have that card anymore since it got Gift Exchanged. But we do have 2 Gamble cards, and the reason I'm not using them is, again, I really don't want to risk losing up to, well, a minimum of 1 turn, but, well, actually a minimum of 2 turns, since I would lose a turn for using it and it got me knocked out, and then I would have to spend turns rolling to see if I revive. Now, Haru is out of commission for a bit, but I think our main contender now is Yuki with 142 stars. now we managed to land on the lollipop, so we're gonna go for our final norma of get 200 stars, and I don't think that should take very long, considering we're already at 177, and if we manage to avoid combat for the rest of this, yeah, I think we're in good shape. We're not gonna fight Aro because that will put us on the boss panel as well, so we're just gonna go for this bonus panel. It's 196, so I believe at the beginning of the next turn we'll have met our 200 star threshold, so all you have to do is stop at home and win. This game went a lot better than the last game, and the last game I was unfamiliar with the board, so couldn't really devise an ample strategy. But now that all it really takes is a second go. And now for the concluding story. Sha-la-la-la, triumph! Defeat, defeat. Today must be my unlucky day. Popo, you're not getting away again. Let's surround her. Stay still, okay? Now. No use. She vanished? How? I just recalled she's got that kind of special ability. We can't catch her. No worries. Question mark. Even though I look like this, I'm still a dog. I have pride in my sense of smell. Oh, QP, you never looked more reliable than now. This way. Let's roll. And we managed to get about 1,075 stars from that, which is a pretty good bounty. Let's see if we can buy anything new in our shop. We can buy Pete, who was a character in episode 2, and he was the very combat-oriented character. So we'll do so. And we can buy this chicken card. Adds our store collection. Now, you can see stars is the amount of money we have, and we earn this money through playing more games. But this level thing I've neglected to mention until now. You can only gain experience level up when playing on the free play mode, and I believe you can gain experience through single player, but the main way I've been doing so is by playing multiplayer online, and you can easily do so here. Now, since the game is relatively new, there aren't really many people that are playing it, or maybe this game doesn't really appeal to them, but in all honesty, it's a really fun game, and it's a lot funner if you have some friends to play with. But this'll do it for episode 4 of Let's Play 100% Orange Juice. I hope to see you next time, where we do QP's Chapter 4 campaign, I believe. Yep. So that'll do it for me. Until next time, Castella out.